Guys, this is my One Line to Live review for Friday, October 15th, 2010, an episode I would like to call Taya, because pretty much the whole episode was about Taya and whether people believe she's alive, or she dead, or where she is, and then she figured out about Eli. Okay, Psycho Hannah O'Connor shows up to where she kept Star and Hope. We find out it's in the attic of her parents' house, and Hannah walks in with a gun. Of course, why not? Give the psycho a gun. And I'm like, still like, Star keeps swinging, and it sucks. So basically, Hannah's keeping Star and Hope up there until she can get Cole to fall in love with her and forget all about Star and Hope. Really, how long do you think that's going to be? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter to her because I don't know. Anyways, I just know that I was kind of starting to like Hannah, but now it's kind of like, when's this chick gonna go? So, yeah, so Star was trying to lie to her, saying that she doesn't love Cole, she wants James, trying to find a way out of there, but Hannah doesn't believe her. Of course, she's a psycho. Ugh. Like, ugh. Oh, and then the worst part, she decides that she wants to rip off James's bullet necklace off a Star. So I'm like, oh, oh, ugh. So tired of Hannah. And so I was thinking, like, I was watching last night, and I was like, okay, Hannah is a bad psycho because once she dropped the Mr. Frog at at Marty's house, and Hope and Langston finds it, and her and Marco, she's like, no way, Sar's going to let Mr. Froggy stay at Marty's house or whatever. So, clue number one, that Hannah's a bad psycho. So you got Mr. Froggy, so they're kind of like, oh, okay, what's going on? And then at the end, James leaves. Well, James shows up. Let's start with that part. James shows up at Marty's to see Cole, but Cole's not there. Cole's over at James's. I mean, Todd's. And he Marco gets a call to go pick up a prescription for his father. So that leaves James and Langston there, and James is telling Langston that he wants to talk to Cole, try to figure out a way to find Star and Hope. And so I'm like, Marco and Langston were kind of mean to James, kind of like, I'm like, why are they mean to James? I mean, it's not James's fault that Star and Danny and Hope got kidnapped. It's Eli's. But if they want to place blame on anybody, like I said, it's Cole. He's more interested in Hannah. He told Hannah he has feelings for her. And I'm like, just stop being on Cole's side. He's just being a big jerk. With a capital J. Anyway, so James leaves. Oh, James and Langston are talking about Ford and all this other stuff, and Langston figures out that Ford never told James that Langston was the one that sent those pictures to the dean. So she's like, oh my god. So she's like thinking, like, ooh, maybe Ford's not that bad of a guy. Anyway, so on the way, let's forget about that part. Back to James. James leaves and he bumps right into Hannah, and Hannah has the bullet necklace. Like, what? And James finds it, and he's like, "Where'd you get this from?" And so, of course, it ends. So I like to see how Hannah's gonna explain her way out of that, because James is not gonna believe her. My theory is that James is going to follow Hannah. He's gonna find Star. And I'm hoping that he saves Star and Hope, but maybe Hannah will catch on and knock him out, and then they'll be stuck in the attic together. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I would like for them all to go home and everybody to find out what Hannah was up to. Okay, on to Paul. It's like he's getting like brattier and more annoying as each episode passes, or every second of the episode passes to me, anyway. And so he's at the police station, stomping his foot. I need to find my girls. I need to find Star. I want hope. And I'm like, oh, you should have thought of that yesterday when you were like all kissing Hannah and stuff while they're being kidnapped. So you should feel bad and stuff, acting like a little brat. And then he goes to Todd's house and he acts even more brattier, getting all fresh with the one of the Peter guys. Like, where'd you find out? Why can't you tell me where'd you find out? Alright, so keep looking or something. I forgot. He said something else that was really annoying. And it was funny, the Todd line that he said to him. They were talking about Todd is trying to get the 50 million for Eli, and he's like he's gonna raise it or whatever. And Cole goes, I have some bonds that I can cash in, and I can sell my car. And Todd is like, oh, you're gonna break your piggy bank. I love Todd. He's got the best lines ever. And that was really funny. And Marty's over there, and Marty and Blair kind of like bonding over Star and Hope being missing. And I thought it was kind of cute, but kind of like. Anyways, um, meanwhile, Natalie, she tried to walk out of Todd's house with Taya. I shouldn't just do that. Anyways, and Todd catches her, of course. She's trying to prove that Taya's alive. And Natalie um makes up this whole story about, I forgot the story she made up, but anyways, Todd takes Taya and takes her upstairs, and then John is like, okay, so you want to tell me what you're doing, what you're really doing. And so Natalie tells him that first she tells him just to play along. Okay, so John does that. He distracts Todd while Natalie goes upstairs and she steals Taya's hairbrush, and then they go outside, and then she tells him that Greg told her that Taya's alive. So they go back to the station and they talk about how they need to compare. She's Natalie's gonna try to get like a bone fragment or something out of the ashes and compare it to Taya's hair. So it's funny how tech stuff works. Anyway, so Natalie does that, and then we go to Greg's parents, George and Felicia. They're visiting Greg with Destiny, and so Destiny goes out to get mom some coffee, or is it her mom? Da 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 da. Which I don't think so. And they talk about Felicia. She tells George that Greg was helping out Eli, maybe to hide the fact that uh, something, a secret from back in the past about Destiny, didn't want Destiny or Sean to know. And at first I was thinking that Destiny was Greg's daughter, but now maybe it is that she's not even in Evans at all, and they like stole her or something from the hospital, kind of like a Roxy thing where Roxy thought her son was dead, and so she stole Rex. She thought Skylar was dead and stole Rex. So maybe it's like that, or maybe it is still true that Greg is Destiny's daughter, and he had, or they killed the mother or something like that. I don't know. All I know is that Destiny is not really Felicia and George's daughter. We know that is definitely safe because, I mean, that doesn't make no point. But anyways, it better be pretty damn good since he almost killed my girl Taya. That's all I'm saying. And so Taya, on to Taya. Dun, dun, dun. Taya figures out Eli. First of all, was Taya, did Eli knock Taya out senseless, or was Taya passed out or something? Did she not remember that she got to that weird looking place via the trunk? Because, like, she's like, thank you, Eli, for getting me out of there, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, did she forget she was in the trunk? In the trunk of Star's car, no less. La, la, la. Anyways, and so Eli tells her that, Eli asks her what Greg told her, and she told him about how she was about to die. Well, she thought she had died at St. Kitts, and then, next you know, she's waking up at Cherryville, and Greg is battling and he's so old. And so he's like, what else did Greg Evans tell you? And so she tells him the entire story. She still hasn't figured out that he's a bad guy. And then he goes, but that's not the plan. Greg didn't do what he was supposed to. Taya said that Greg saved her, and Eli's like, Greg didn't do what he was supposed to. And she's like, why would my doctor try to save my life? And he's like, that wasn't the plan. It's like, what plan? And then he tells her that she's supposed to die. And then she still doesn't get it. I'm like, Taya, wake up. Eli's bad. He is bad. So, anyways, she finally figures out, and then she thinks that Danny is outside the door, and she's right. And Eli's like, no. And she's like, I need to get to Todd and Danny and tell them that I'm alive. And he's like, no, that's not going to happen. And I'm like, no. So anyway, so Eli ties Thea up, and then he moves out to go kill Greg. And Danny's all tied up, and then she ends up getting untied after Eli leaves. And then she busts in the room because she thinks Star is still in there. So she breaks into the room, and she's like, um, my mom's gonna kill me. She finds out that I know how to break into stuff. And I'm like, Danny, your mom's not going to care. She's gonna be so happy. And so she breaks into the room, and then Danny's like, she sees Tan all tied up. She's like all shocked and stuff. And I'm like, yay, finally. And so Danny walks in on her parents or her parent, trying to figure out, they cover, because she hears them say that, Destiny can't know about this. And she's like, know about what? And they're like, um, said that Greg's not in good shape. And so Destiny's like, oh no, he's dying. He can't, it's my birthday. No, Greg. And she's like all crying and hugging him and stuff. And so then, ooh, Turk. This is my nephew, Turk. Stop leaving. And then they're like, they leave too. And then the stupid guard at Greg's door decides to take a phone call. He is definitely gonna lose his job. And Eli goes in, and he walks up to Greg's bed, dressed in all scrubs and everything. And so pretty much Eli's about to kill him. So Greg's going Monday, definitely. And that is it. That is all that happened on Friday. We ended with Danny seeing Taya and Eli walking in Greg's room, so that's a nice little cliffhanger for all of us. Oh, and James seeing Hannah with the bullet necklace. So yeah. So that's all for Friday. See you guys next week.